Happy Monday. Okay, so the only thing that we need to kind of hash out real quick is the sneak peek into coaching. Kelly, are you planning on combining together with us tomorrow and Wednesday for a sneak peek?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, and then Michelle, are you wanting to do the sneak peek with us as well? I know that you're probably at work, so you can like comment after or something, but we'll probably just keep a similar format to last time. I'll send out just in a text like different topics, and if you want to take the same topic you did last time, awesome. If you want to switch it up, then that's cool too. And then, yeah, you're good, Michelle, no worries. Okay, so cool. We'll add you in on that, and you can share a topic, and we really will try to keep it quick. I was the one that went the longest last time. Oh man. Okay. So yeah, we'll keep it short and sweet. All right. So aside from that, I just wanted to let Kelly take the reins today because she's on fire right now. Kelly, how many coaches have you signed up at this point? Do you have 4 and 4?
I have
3 and 4. You were so close on, what was that, Saturday that I was looking?
I think that I'm still where I was, so I feel like it's 4 and 2.
Okay, 4 and 2, something like that. Yeah, so that is awesome. So definitely share with us what you're telling these people to get them to sign up as discount coaches. Because it's so funny because I think, we all know what to say, but there's different ways to say it that are really effective, obviously. So that's awesome. Okay, I'm going to push mute on my end, and you can, whatever you had prepped, we are ready to have our cups filled. Woohoo!
Okay. Are you guys? Oh. Did I lose you? Are you still there? Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. So I guess I made some notes, so I'm just going to kind of go off of those. And to start by saying, like, I feel both humbled and proud to like share a little bit today. And I am by no means an expert at this business. I think, I'll kind of walk through my journey with Beachbody so far, I guess, and what I'm talking with people about. But I think my biggest tip is that I haven't been afraid to just sort of jump in. So I've asked a lot of questions. I know I bugged Audrey a lot in the very beginning, just randomly being like, what this thing came up and I don't know kind of where to go with it. And so you've certainly been really good about giving me those insights and little nuggets when I've needed them. And that being said, I also haven't been afraid just to jump in my online office and sort of poke around and look for resources through Beachbody for calling coach relations or those types of things. Also, I've tried to just be creative, and so kind of coming up with creative ways to engage people on social media, creative ideas for maybe future promotions that I might do, and utilizing resources like, again, being creative, like when I saw that Beachbody blog. Right now I'm doing that 9 days of the top reasons why working out at home is better than at the gym. And so that's been fun and just kind of a funny way for people to maybe keep track of what's happening on my page because they want to see maybe what's so I started Beachbody in early August. I signed up to do the Country Heat program. And at that point, I hadn't committed to being a coach at all because I really wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. And honestly, I was pretty skeptical. Like, I think many of us had that same feeling in the beginning, like, let me see what this is all about. Maybe I will send my bag of Shakeology back within 30 days. We'll see how it goes. And so after a few weeks of doing Country Heat, it was super clear to me that this is legit and that this is a product and a group of people and values that I can really align with and get behind. And so that's really motivated me. I know it's very different, but I actually, at one point in my past years, had been had done direct sales with a company called Party Light, if you're familiar with those candles. And I was terrible at it because I didn't care. Like, I just didn't care. And so this feels so different to me because this is a lifestyle and this is something I care about and am passionate about. And actually I mean, people need this, right? Like, a candle's a candle. Yeah, people like a candle, I guess, and it smells nice. But this is like people's lives, right? And so very quickly, I was like, why wouldn't I coach? So I was excited to sign up and do that. So I guess I've been coaching for it's like 3 months, but it's on the books as 2 because I started in kind of mid-September. So I kind of got that extra time for my first month, which was helpful. But I have gone to Quest Club 10 in both of my first 2 months, and I plan to in month 3 as well. And I think kind of step by step how I've done it. My first month, I kind of started small. So I think in the beginning, it's easiest to sort of reach out to your inner circle. So I kind of started with friends and family, sharing kind of what I was doing and the value behind what I was doing, and wasn't pressuring people, and was definitely trying not to be salesy, but also, there are people in my inner circle and in my life that can really benefit from starting to really take their health and fitness, take the reins and do something with that. And so, like, I was really excited to get my sister on board because she is someone who has battled her whole life with weight and eating well and eating right. And so she's been doing awesome. So that's been really exciting. So I kind of started small, and from there, I've used Facebook as my platform. I did create an Instagram account, but that's not something that I've really spent any time with yet. I think it's a future down the road thing as things continue to grow. But I've really focused on one social media platform. And I've really been following a lot of the tips that we've learned in the trainings and through various leaders within our team, and through the National Wake Up Calls, a lot of the tips that have been shared. So right now I'm posting probably on average 3 times a day. Some days I'm posting maybe like 4 or 5 times, and some days I might post 2 times, but on average I would say about 3. I really am trying not to be annoying. So, we talk a lot about not being salesy and not wanting to be annoying. And so I feel like I've achieved that so far. Maybe some people have stopped following me or unfollowed me on Facebook because they don't want to hear about health and fitness at this point in their lives. But I think I've done a pretty good job of keeping my posts varied and maybe appealing to people's different interests. So that way it doesn't feel like, a selfie with Shakeology every day. I think right now I'm probably about 50-50 between health and fitness and just life posts. I was trying to remember, I didn't have time to go back and look through the trainings, but I feel like at one point in the trainings, they recommended that it could even be like 70-30 or 80-20, that you didn't have to have every post be about health and fitness. But I think 50-50 has worked pretty well for me so far. And I mentioned earlier, I've just tried to be really creative. And so I've learned a lot, I think, from the lead of Audrey and from Laura in particular. And also I now follow Micah and I now follow Melissa Brewer. And it's been really great for me to see those examples and kind of run with my own kind of take on those examples. So I've started doing, I use some apps that help me make photos fancier and appealing. So they're that scroll stopping image as people are going on their news feed. I've been doing more videos, so trying to do videos of different workout moves, or I also finally got over that initial kind of fear about live feeds. And so now I'm really like not afraid to hop on and just sort of chat live about whatever topic. And I know that was something that Audrey had really encouraged, and I'm really glad that I've been doing that, because I think that that's been a really valuable piece for me. And I think it's one, I mean, I know sometimes people just want to read really quick what you post, but I think more often they want to see your face and hear your voice and actually have a connection. And that's something that's going to help them see the value more than just reading that post. So I've tried to, like I said, I've tried to just kind of vary the content. And so a little bit, you know, I still have my, here's an example of what I'm eating, or here's my shake for the day. But I've tried to also just be really authentic and kind of tell my story, right? We talked about that a lot. So the other day, for example, you know, right or wrong, left or whatever, you know, I shared that I had had Taco Bell tacos on Facebook, and I'm like, I mean, that's a thing that happens. Like, people are trying to live healthy lives and stick to the meal plan, but sometimes you just end up eating 3 tacos at Taco Bell, and it's just the way it works out, right? So, you know, I was doing my selfie with Shakeology, but I put that real life spin on it, saying like, I feel like crap because I ate these tacos, and now this is making me feel so much better. And I'm so glad that I've adopted this healthy lifestyle, because I can feel the difference and know that when I put that stuff into my body, it doesn't feel good. So yeah, so just trying to be really real. And I was going to read, this is sort of like shooting my own horn a little bit, but it made me feel really good. This was a message that one of the women that I signed up this month, she sent me this message as we were going back and forth about why she was joining and, you know, how I could support her. She said, just so you know, your videos are very inspiring. I cannot believe you have 2 little kiddos and still have the time to work out every day, not to mention with a smile on your face. If it wasn't for your videos, I probably wouldn't be contacting you, but it shows your actual real life while you're doing the workout. I don't like the people that show their videos of their workout with no distractions, because that's not real life. You always have the animal running around you, or the kids need you. It's real, it's true, and it's very inspiring. So that meant a lot to me, and I think that really is a testimony to a lot of what we've learned in these trainings that we talk about all the time, that just being real and being you, and not trying to have like here's the perfect way to do this move in this workout, and there's no life happening around me. I think showing that life is messy and showing that it's not perfect, but that you can still do these great things for yourself and for your family is really an important piece of the puzzle. Let's see, other things. I think that one of the things that I need to start doing more of, that Audrey kind of helped spark me on the other day, is I've had a lot of success, and I'll talk more about that, but I've had a lot of success signing people up as discount coaches, but I really haven't had success yet signing anyone up to be a business building coach. And so I'm trying to figure out, you know, how can I kind of hook people and get them excited about the prospects of coaching and building a business, rather than just benefiting from the business. And Audrey had mentioned to me that long ago in her own business that she had a similar conversation with Melissa, and that we're missing an opportunity when we're not sharing more frequently in our posts and things about like the why are we coaching, and why is it a valuable thing for us in our lives. And that a piece of that is financial, but also there's all these other pieces of why it's such a great thing to be a part of and to be able to help other people. So that's going to be a piece that I'm trying to integrate in more, is that coaching why, and try to get more people to be a part of the sneak peek groups, like what we're doing. Let's see. I also have gotten myself some Shakeology samples, and so I have those. That's been a good thing for me. So I've actually mailed out quite a few of those. And again, I sort of followed Audrey's example, and I have some mail envelopes that I have at home. I have some little blank note cards that are cute. And so I always send the sample, and I send the little like promotional Shakeology brochure. I also have been printing off. I don't know if I can order more of these. I was going to look into it. But these things that talk about like how like the bases for your shake and what you can add to them. And then there's some recipes on the back. So I've just been printing copies of this and enclosing that too, because I think this is a cool little resource. And then doing a note card and mailing that off to people. And I have some vegan samples and some regular samples, and so that's been good because I've had people ask for both. Let's see. People that I've signed up, it's been a combination of people that I've been, intentionally reaching out to, and then other people who have just contacted me. So I think in some ways I've been lucky, but I think it's been a combination of, the stuff that I've been doing and putting out into the world because people are contacting me to ask questions about it, and then that direct reach out is really important. I have not perfected a daily schedule by any means. So at this point in my business, I've been lucky that I've done as well as I have because I haven't been practicing a really clean and tidy power hour, for example. Like I've sort of been just having this intermittently throughout the day. I would really like to get to the point where I commit to from 6 to 7 in the morning, that's my Beachbody time. That's when I really dig in. And then maybe check in later in the day. But I think that's the one thing that I would really like to change about what I'm doing, because I find that I'm on my Facebook app on my phone way more during the day than I would like to be, because it's taking away and sometimes from me being an active, present person with my. Because there's times when I'm like, oh, this person's asking me these questions about Beachbody. I want to answer like right away. So I think that in the day and age of technology and kind of instant gratification, I feel that like sense of urgency that I need to respond immediately. But I think that in reality, it's okay if someone has to wait 3 hours to hear back from you, right? So that's something that I need to like practice and kind of get control of. I think that I've leaned on the excuse of like my kids have been sleeping like garbage since daylight savings time. It's like, and then Audrey goes through that with her son nursing, all of that, teething kids, all the great craziness of life. But I would like to get into more of a routine. I think that would help a lot. I'm not super consistent with personal development. I'm really trying. I really like the Darren Daily text messages, because that is such a quick, easy thing to be a part of in the mornings without having to like pick up a book for however long. But I'm trying to integrate more, and I've liked being a part of the 21 Day Leadership group, because that's been another personal development piece that I've been able to think about more intentionally and takes a little bit longer than just the Darren does. So things that I've been telling people to get them to want to commit as discount coaches and to sign up for something. Again, I think I've been trying to be really real with people. So I have modified some of the examples that Audrey's provided of like text that you can send in a Facebook message to people. I've been really reaching out and building relationships with people first and foremost. So I'm out there commenting and liking on people's pages, so that they know that I'm around, and that way, it's not as shocking if I just randomly send a personal message or type something. Because that's the risk, right? If you're not building the relationship first and you send that random message, people are going to think, oh, she's just trying to sell me this product, right? Rather than really showing like, hey, I've really been enjoying seeing these posts and I saw this thing and here's a question about it. Hey, by the way, I'm doing some fitness coaching now. Do you have any health and fitness goals you're working towards? I've also really tried to find my market, if you will. So I know for a lot of us, that's moms, maybe moms of like young kids. And so that's been a good way for me to have an in with people, is to say, like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a really long time, but I'm doing this fitness coaching now, and my passion is really helping moms like me, because this has been such a blessing. So, you know, finding that connecting point with people who share some sort of piece of. So again, kind of modifying some of the text or some of the like pitches that you might give to people about it. So I've been sort of feeding off whatever goals they might have and saying like, wow, you know, what great goals to have, and, you know, what are you doing to achieve those? Okay, I have this program that seems like it would be a great fit for you. And the great thing is that we have such versatile programs and there's so many to choose from that it's really easy for me to hand pick and say, I could see how 21 Day Fitness would be perfect for what you're trying to accomplish, or would really supplement the training you're already doing for your with Core to Force, it's been really nice because it is new. And so I think people are seeing a lot of value in getting in early while there's still the promotional sale for it. And I've had some people who have said, I've been really looking for a kickboxing style program. So I think it's really just finding that connecting point with people about like, which sort of program or which sort of opportunity would benefit them the most, and working from there. And I haven't had too much resistance. I mean, I've definitely gotten some no's, and at first I felt like, whoa, I feel so sad. It's bad inside me, you know, like that this person would say, nope, that's definitely not for me. Like, not even a not right now, but just put sort of a flat, that's not how I live my life. So, but it's only been a couple that's happened. Most people have been like, tell me more. I'd be really interested to hear a little bit. And actually, since I'm running my own Christmas cash challenge Core to Force group, and today's day one, last week was my prep week for that. I actually chose, so I had signed up one person already for the November, Knockout November challenge group in early November. And so I already had one of my folks that I had helped of my tithe. So when I was going for my Christmas Cash Challenge, I had a goal of signing up 5 people. But what I ended up doing was signing up 4 more, which got me to Success Club 10. And I actually sort of did a free join for the 5th person in that group because my cousin was one of the 4. And she wanted to do the full program. So she purchased a challenge pack. And then with her, I got my aunt, because they actually live together right now. And so my aunt joined the group sort of for free, and she's sharing my cousin's materials. So she didn't want to do the Shakeology. She just wanted to be a part of the program. So she's not actually sort of contending or qualifying for the cash payout at the end. But she's been a 5th person to sort of round out that group. And so I thought that was really kind of a nice way for me also to save myself and my pocketbook a little bit of potential ding at the end of the month, because I want all of them to be successful, right? So I want all of them in the end to earn that whatever amount of money it ends up being, $15, $30. So anyway, I thought it was a nice way for potentially to earn future business, I guess, from her, because I was willing to make that adjustment. Say, of course, like, be a part of the group. I want you to have the support and the accountability. And, you know, I think that she's someone who may continue to use Beachbody products because she really wants to take control of her health. So that's kind of how that one worked out for me. And I have been doing a combination of things, like in the prep week for the challenge group. I love the challenge tracker app. It's so cool. This is the first group that I'm running by myself, and I love, I just love the features of it. So the fact that you can upload the files, the fact that you can schedule posts. I love, this is the first time that I've really been responsible for doing it all. And so I've also been using the Tour de Force challenge group guide that you can get through the post office. And so I've done a combination of my own posts and my own tips and the recommendation challenge group guide. I actually used Audrey's 2-day detox menu that you had shared back in October, I think it was. And I encouraged them to do that on Saturday, Sunday before we started today. So I've been doing a combination of my own posts and tips and then things on the side, and that seems to work really well. So far, I have participation actively from all 5. And so I think something about what I'm offering them, how I'm engaging is working. And granted, it's day 1, but they were active throughout prep week. So hopefully they'll continue to be engaged at that level. I've been really good about responding to their posts, and I think that that's important. So I've been actively going back and liking, responding specifically to questions or things that they're putting out there. And that's my goal for the month, is to continue to be able to do that. Let's see. Yeah, so I think, I've really just been tailoring what I've been doing as best I can to the person. So I haven't been, I might speak a template message to someone. I've really been responding to whatever they're giving me and modifying it. And again, because of the passion that I have for this, and because of the belief I have in the product, and because of the time that I've spent with the trainings, familiarizing myself with what resources we have, I feel like I've been able to respond, thoughtfully, knowledgeably, and personally to each of their sort of needs or questions. So I don't know if any of you have specific questions, but those are just some notes that I had about maybe what might be helpful to share. I've also been rolling people over from month to month so far. So like some of my challengers from the first October group, I said, hey, if you're interested, I'm just going to roll you over into our November group so that you can continue your program. And that has encouraged them to also continue the Shapeology. So I think that's a nice way to, continue to engage them and help them see the value of what they sort of invested in the beginning. I'm thinking about doing for December, doing a 3-week yoga retreat free group, maybe doing like a 1-week sample free group with that. I know that's something that people did in the past, but it's not something I've done. And so I was thinking maybe for the first week in December, maybe doing getting some folks to sign up for the free 30-day Beachbody on Demand, or getting them on board for 3 weeks of free yoga retreat. So just random thoughts that I've had. Does anyone have questions or other things that you wanted to hear?
I think that's awesome. Thank you so much. I was taking notes during it, so I have a few things to kind of feed off of what you were saying. But I think that's a great idea. If we want to, I would totally do that with you for the 1-week yoga retreat. And we could even offer that as a free group, maybe after Thanksgiving when people are feeling like crap. Like that could be a fun thing to implement and try to get a few more people on board with us before even December hits. Mm-hmm. So Let me flip to my notes. Yeah, you had so many awesome tips. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, sure.
Okay. So I just wanted to point out, so all the people that you've onboarded, definitely give them a private invitation to the sneak peek group. And, even if it's just for motivation, inspiration, and helping them lock in on their journey as a discount coach, then they're still going to be able to get some stuff out of what we're saying. And the beauty behind being a discount coach is people are going to start to see your change. So how do you sign them up under you? Well, it's really easy. And that's how Beachbody's kind of made to be, because the programs are amazing, and your transformations are amazing. So at the end of your months with your challengers, whether they've joined you as a discount coach or not, it's great to just reach out to them, ask them how they're liking it, how are you liking Shakeology, how are you liking these programs? You know what, do you want to help me this next month, like as a coach, to run this group? And on the surge, I don't know if you guys have listened to that yet, one of the coaches just said, I just get my challengers to, I'll just say, hey, Mindy, can you post something inspirational or something of value on Mondays? Could you do that for the rest of the month? And she'll actually, that wasn't the surge, that was Tara Bilek. It was a different training, but she was saying she just calls her challengers. And so since you are running your own group, Kelly, that could be a great way to onboard them a little bit more into that coaching role. It's almost like a sneak training to have them add stuff daily and pin it at the top, or however it works for them to just add it in there. So that was just an idea that came to mind. But yeah, Laura and I have both heard a lot of trainings where coaches at the end of the month will reach out to their challengers and say, okay, we're starting up a new challenge group. Do you want to roll forward as a challenger? Or you can take a step back if you just, if you need a month, and then they toss them into like an ongoing free group on Facebook, which we do have one that we can put all of our people in. I'll add you to it, Kelly. We really should give that group some love, because it's all these people that have just either want to be joined for free, or they have just kind of fallen off course, and so to continually add value in there, recipes, workouts, upcoming challenge groups, it'll help people to continue to engage. So those are the first two options. And then third, if you're loving this, you should coach with me. Like, let's run next month together. I could really use your help. So offering that invitation to people is life-changing, as you know. So yeah, so pretty cool there. I loved how you were just talking about that letter, or the message from the woman about real life, and just how inspiring you were. That's awesome. Another tip that I've just kind of picked up over the past 2 years with the samples. So I always offer one for free, and if they want to try a couple different samples, if they live close and I can drop it off, I'll sell it for $4 a piece. And if I have to ship it, I do it for $5 a piece. And I've found that people who are willing to pay that $5 a piece, they're actually willing to do Shakeology too. And so that's kind of helped, because from the get-go, I gave a couple people like 2 or 3 samples because they were super interested, and then they didn't end up ordering. And I was like, well, that was a waste of a lot of money, it's an investment. So I always do one for free. You can do it how you want, but I've found some success with that. And then, yeah, as far as a schedule, I'm the same way. Some days I do have a good plan, and what I would recommend to any coaches is get a game plan set, and on Sundays, look at your week, try to implement 1 or 2 hours of focused power hour time. But if you only have 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, that's how it works out, and it works that way as long as you hit all of your to-dos, and that's okay. But to come back, okay, the next day, all right, from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., I'm going to lock in and do a power hour. At 2 p.m., I'm going to just check back in on my groups, help my coaches, I'm going to do this. And then maybe at 8 p.m. answer any messages that are in my inbox or whatever it is. But I've seen that in a lot of the top coaches. And then you can unplug and not be glued to your phone. So that can be super helpful. I loved never turning anyone away. Laura and I have both, actually Jody, Laura's coach, she joined us for free for like 8 months, and then she ended up coaching, and she's been a rock star. So, yeah. Oh, and then lastly, the Surge. Have you guys started it? It's super long, so don't be intimidated. Take it, each person talks for 15 minutes, so take it one person at a time if you need to. Take a couple weeks to get through it. That's totally fine. I've turned it on 3 different times at this point, and I'm over, I don't know, I'm somewhere in the hour, 30-minute range. It is so awesome, and it's something that I'm going to start over again when I finish it. There are a lot of good takeaways from it. So definitely start that today, and however long it takes is fine. But make that a priority to get through that Surge call. I mean, you've got like at least 2 life coaches at this point that have talked, 2 authors that have talked, and then top coaches sharing secrets and tips to their businesses. So awesome stuff. Cool. Laura, do you have anything you want to chime in that I missed?
I've been commenting, but I don't know if you guys are seeing it.
Oh, no, I didn't on this screen. I saw Michelle's comment. Shoot,
Anyway.
I forget how to flip screens.
I love it. I think that, always adding value, even if people aren't buying, just include them in the group and say, you may not be eligible for the cash prize, but we have other prizes for like best cheerleader of the group and this and that. And like just always adding value is so important. And in my comment, I wrote The Go-Giver. Like that's such a good book series. If you guys haven't gotten it or haven't read it, do it. But yeah, that is awesome. And I'm going to start the Surge today. I'm excited.
Perfect. Cool. All right. Well, we have 1:30 left. I'd say we nailed it. All right. Thank you so much, Kelly, for taking the time to rock our call today.
Kelly, you need to be in the elite training group. Are you in that yet?
I know that I had asked to be. I don't know if I got added or not.
Okay, I'll go on and make sure you're in there right now.
You need to be in it.
Yeah. All right. Okay, have an awesome day, guys.
You. Bye.
All right, thanks.